The United Kingdom urges Ethiopia and the Sudan to resolve border disputes peacefully. The COVID-19 death rate worst in Europe with fears of wars to come. Hello and welcome to this news hour. I'm Daniel Kasahun with the news. The United Kingdom expressed desire that Ethiopia and Sudan resolve their border issues in a peaceful manner. Ethiopia senior government officials held discussion with the UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs Dominic Raab here today. The State Secretary stressed that the UK is desirous to boost bilateral ties with Ethiopia in various fields. Habtamu Ashagre, who attended the event, has the following account.
Ethiopian President Salok Zewde held consultative discussions with the UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs Dominic Raab, aiming to solidify bilateral ties of the two countries. Briefing journalists, the UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs Dominic Raab said the UK government is ready to cement investment and economic cooperation with Ethiopia.
I wanted to come here because there are opportunities for investment and for economic prosperity for the Ethiopian people, also for British businesses. That's a win-win. There's a whole range of other things. I'm here at this school which we help support through our aid program because we prize education of Ethiopians, in particular girls' education, so highly. And there are all sorts of other global challenges where we want to work with our Ethiopian friends on climate change, on coronavirus, and in particular making sure that countries like Ethiopia can get access, equitable access to the vaccines that now are rolling forward. So I think it was high time to come here and speak to various different members of the government and to come and see what our investments are achieving here in a school like this.
He added that the UK government calls upon Ethiopia and Sudan to resolve their boundary disputes in a peaceful manner.
Sudan and Ethiopia are both good friends of the United Kingdom. We know the challenges and the sensitivities, but we encourage all our friends to de-escalate any of those tensions and settle their challenges and the bones of contention, the issues in a peaceful and politically common sense way, and I'm confident that they will achieve that.
He stresses the UK government is always committed to work along with Ethiopia to modernize the education as well as health sectors. The State Secretary reaffirmed that the UK has recognized the remarkable climate change activities made by Ethiopia's government. According to the State Secretary, the UK government is desirous to cement bilateral ties with Ethiopia in various fields. Dominic has paid a visit in Yeka Misrak Chora Kindergarten and Primary School in Addis Ababa. Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia and Deputy Prime Minister Demeke Mekonnen has also discussed with the State Secretary the effective law enforcement operation and rehabilitation activities in the state of Tigray. Attending the discussion, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia spokesperson Dina Mufti said the minister has briefed other concerns to his counterpart.
Both officials have cited that the relationship between the two countries is deep and historic. Both countries have been cooperating in various areas. And the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister particularly, has briefed the guest on the successful operations for maintaining law and order in the northern part of Ethiopia, and the current performance at rehabilitations and restorations in the region, especially in Tigray, especially the humanitarian relief. He briefed the guest on the coordinations between the relief agencies and the government of Ethiopia on the delivery of the relief supplies to the affected regions. And he extensively briefed him also on the rehabilitations which are going on extensively in Tigray, and on the formations of the transitional government also, which is evolving and in fact expanding its structures to the different parts of the region. He briefed the guest also on the tensions on the Ethio-Sudanese border. He briefed him on the essence, the genesis of the tension, the fact that Ethiopia is committed toward the peaceful resolutions of these differences.
According to the spokesperson, Demeke has briefed the State Secretary about the existing Ethiopia's position about the tripartite negotiation on good.
Ethiopia is committed to this negotiation, which is being conducted under the auspices of the African Union. And Ethiopia is always out to see fruitful conclusions of these trilateral discussions. Though others are coming out and coming in so that we could not successfully accomplish the trilateral discussion so far.
The State Secretary is recognizing the effective and remarkable green development strategies of Ethiopia to alleviate the negative impact of climate change.
The National Electoral Board of Ethiopia announced that some 25 contesting political parties have chosen their electoral symbols ahead of the upcoming national election slated for early June this year. Choosing political party symbol began on Thursday. The board made it clear that contending parties that have not yet chosen their symbols out of those made available by the board can bring their own signs to the board. While some did this, others have requested the board to provide them with symbols.
Choosing electoral symbol began on Thursday, and some 25 political parties have already chosen their symbol, while others requested the board to choose symbols for them. The number of political parties who fulfilled to register their candidates and to choose electoral symbols are 53. Thus, half of the registered political parties chose their own electoral symbols. I hope they have enough time to choose the symbol.
Registered parties have been urged to choose their own electoral symbols, presenting in person at the board's headquarters on African Avenue.
Electoral symbol has its own criteria. Therefore, contesting political parties should refrain from choosing symbols that may trigger conflicts. Symbols should not be linked with religions, flags, or anything with derogatory connotation. The party symbols will be examined and seen by professionals. Then the board checks it finally to decide whether the symbol meets the criteria. If the symbol has design, size, and pixel problem, it will be corrected easily by the board. I urge political parties to choose their symbol within the deadline.
ቴክኒካል ችግሮች ግን ካሉበት ለምሳሌ የዲዛይን የፒክሰል ምናምን ችግሮች ካሉበት ግን እኛም ማስተካከል እንችላለን።
You are watching at this news hour. The Ethiopian diaspora have been supporting the Dine for Nation project ever since it was launched a year ago by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Foreigners of Ethiopian origin said they are supporting the Dine for Nation as well as Dine for Shaggar initiatives with an intention of thanking Ethiopian people and everyone. The foreigner of Ethiopian origin further urged the public and the diaspora to strengthen support for this multi-purpose project. Manuel Jorge reports.
The Dine for Shaggar initiative has been launched by the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and aims to clean rivers and create public parks in the capital city Addis Ababa. Dine for Nation is an extension of the Dine for Shaggar project aiming to beautify Ethiopia, to preserve and utilize its natural resources wisely. Ethiopians living all over the world are significantly supporting the project, but engagements of foreigners of Ethiopian origin like Harsh Kotari are very encouraging for other Ethiopians to strengthen their support to the initiative.
I'm born in Ethiopia, and my family has been here for over 100 years. So we just wanted to have our fingerprints on, on some of the initiatives that are going on. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to participate in these initiatives. which is why we participated in the Dine for Shaggar as well as for Dine for the Ethiopia projects. For us, contributing is about expressing our love for Ethiopia. It's about saying thank you to the people of Ethiopia and thanking Ethiopia in general, because we've been born and brought up here. We've been getting a lot of love, a lot of respect from the people of Ethiopia, and we feel Ethiopians ourselves.
Underlining that the projects will highly benefit the country, he said that not only Ethiopians but every concerned body should support in whatever it can, because it magnifies the existing big image of the country.
Everybody should support such developmental projects, is my personal opinion, because such projects contribute a lot to the country. Ethiopia is already very linked globally because of the Ethiopian Airlines. Ethiopia has a very old history, tradition, culture that needs to be expressed. And Ethiopia has one of the most beautiful landscapes that I have seen in the world. People spend thousands of dollars and go to Switzerland, but we have the same beauty here, and we just need to develop it a little bit. And that way we can showcase the country and the people of this country to the rest of the world.
Kotari added that the Dine for Nation initiative is one of the most beautiful places that the world people need to visit.
The projects in Wenchi, Koisha, I mean, I have been to Wenchi a few times. It's a beautiful place. It's a lake. There is a mountain. You go down the mountain on a horse. The lake is beautiful, blue, nice, blue-green, and then in the middle of the lake there is an island. One of the most beautiful places I've seen in my life. These are the kinds of places that the world needs to know about, the world needs to see and admire.
In fact, Ethiopia is among top tourist destinations in Africa, having many attraction sites. And people are coming to Ethiopia for business, for meeting, on transit through Ethiopia, which is connecting Africa to the rest of the world. These projects in the Dine for Nation initiative are believed to be additional reasons to stay a few more days longer to visit different parts of the country.
As Ethiopia intensifies preparations to hold a general parliamentary and regional elections come early June this year, the media remains a critical area. Media is a powerful tool with the possibility of adding fuel to the fire already igniting from a deeply divided ethnic politics, or alternatively pacify factor with independent and professional approach during election. The remark came when ETV sat down with a media expert named Nuguse Meshesha. Nuguse took the occasion to urge the media play an active role during pre-polling day and post-election periods of what will be the sixth general election since the first election back in 1995. For more on that, here is Jerusalem Bazaar.
Media is essential to democracy. Both civilized and transitional and a democratic election is impossible without media, according to some scholars. Thomas Jefferson wrote on the importance of a free press to keep government in check. In a message delivered to Edward Carrington, whom Jefferson sent as a delegate to the Continental Congress from 1786 to 1788, Jefferson argued that if he had to choose between a government without newspapers or newspapers without a government, he said he should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter. Nuguse's reflection on this very idea shed light on the matter.
Argue in a way that the media plays its paramount role in that. Media is believed to be the oxygen for democracy. So when we think of media's role in democracy, democracy cannot be really practiced without the active participation of media. So media needs to have a vibrant role where citizens can make open discussions, citizens can entertain their views, and opinions without fear or favor.
A free and fair election is not only about the freedom to vote and the knowledge of how to cast a vote, but also about a participatory process where voters engage in public debate, he pointed out. The process, he added, helps voters have adequate information about parties, policies, candidates, and the election process itself in order to make informed choices. That explains why the media must be at the forefront in informing and making citizens active during the polls.
Democratic governments are known for giving the citizens the right to vote, the right to elect their electorates, and that cannot be done without the informed citizenry. So citizens would be informed mainly through mass communication channels. We do usually have a pre-election stage in democratic elections. We do have while election and the post-election periods. So in those three periods of election, the media would play its active role and can make citizens active in deciding who should come to the position, to the political position, and who should rule the government. And that's why we need the media.
Reflecting on the existence of more than 85 languages and ethnic groups in the Horn of Africa nation, Nuguse said the media should be democratic enough to serve the people of Ethiopia professionally and in a responsible manner.
Ethiopia is a melting pot where diverse political views, diverse cultures, diverse religious groups, diverse interest groups, and others would play in the political system of the nation. Therefore, the media needs to be independent from any of the vested interests that can put every pressure on media. So media independence is a key aspect of how we practice professional journalism. Professional journalism would be one of the vibrant force for democratic practices or democratic exercise. Therefore, every media, either print, electronic, or the social media that we come to use in the 21st century with the coming of the information communication technology. Of course, we have misutilized it, but still it has got the social media has got its own use in the political arena, in the political sphere. Therefore, all media, especially in Ethiopian election, which has been hoped to be democratic, which has been hoped to be the time in which Ethiopia would see a better light in its political history, where people who got real election votes would come and serve the people or rule the government.
Nuguse urged the government, political parties, academicians, media houses, and the citizens to use the occasion for speeding up the nation's progress towards a true and transparent government.
The Ethiopian ambassador to Russia, Armayo Tegeno, discussed various issues with chairperson of the International Affairs Committee of the Russian Federation Council, Konstantin Koschev. During the meeting, Ambassador Armayo Tegeno briefed the Russian official on the current situation in the northern Ethiopia and mentioned that the situation in the Tigray region has significantly been improving over the last couple of weeks. He emphasized that peace and security has been maintained in the region and damaged infrastructures are being restored and major social and public services have been resumed and needed humanitarian assistance is being delivered in the region. Konstantin Kosachev, in his part, said that he will understand the situation in Ethiopia. He will understand the situation in Ethiopia, expressing interest of Russia to further strengthen the cooperation with Ethiopia in the political, trade, and economic spheres. Chief of the state of Amhara, Agenyo Teshagar, said the development of the Nile should be on everyone's agenda from its inception. The annual Abuna Zarabruk and Falaga Gion festivals were celebrated in the district of Sakala, Gishabai, West Gojam Zone. Jerusalem has more.
Gishabai is a town in west-central Ethiopia, located in the West Gojam zone of the state of Amhara. Gishabai is best known as the source of the Abai or Blue Nile, also known as Felegagion in Ge'ez, the liturgical language of Ethiopia. Felegagion consists of 3 small springs found within a diameter of about 20 meters. These waters are believed to have a healing power and considered holy by the Ethiopian Church. About 100 meters north of the source of Abai is the church of Gishabai Felegagion Abuna Zarabruk Monastery, which has been one of the most respected centers for church education over the past centuries. The annual celebration of Abuna Zarabruk and Felegagion festivals are celebrated in the district of Sakala, Gishabai on January 21. This year, Gishabai Felegagion, Abuna Zarabruk and Felegagion festivals were colorfully marked with government officials and dignitaries in attendance. Archbishop Abuna Zacharias from West Gojam stated the Gishabai Felegagion, Abuna Zarabruk holy water should be promoted globally.
We have to understand that this is the right time to amplify the power of this holy water. This water is also a source of Blue Nile. This is the blessed and respected one.
Chief of the Amhara regional state, Agenyo Teshagar, on his part said, Nile is Ethiopians' identity, history and name.
Gion is a source of the Grand Blue Nile River. It is also Ethiopia's symbol of promise. Abai or Gion is a manifestation of our unity within our diversity of languages and religions. Abai is our identity.
Agenyo added that the government will work aggressively to be the day is celebrated as the National Day of Ethiopia.
This celebration gives additional meaning in keeping the existences of the Abai River. To maximize our benefits from the Blue Nile, the government officials, politicians, academicians, research institutions, historians, environmentalists, artists and celebrities should take their part and playing their role in developing the Nile and maximize the benefits of the people from the river as it expected.
The annual celebration of Abuna Zarabruk and Felegagion festivals are celebrated with various assortments. The straight run has also had with the presence of the legendary athlete and Ethiopian Athletics Federation President Derartu Tudlu and other Ethiopian athletes.